is over, go immediately to YouTube, right? And then subscribe to the UBM Radio TV banner on YouTube. Why? I'm glad you asked. We're broadcasting more and more of what you asked for. You asked for all of the social media. What are the solutions? What are the solutions? Well, the solutions are right here. Programming every day, and we're dealing with another one in the tomorrow we're going to tell you about. But whether it's feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, looking out for the least of God's people, jobs, contracts, business, loans, grants, all of that you will find every day on the day right here at the UBM Radio TV Network. So we need you all to keep on joining and keep on subscribing. So friends, when this is over, go to YouTube, right? And then subscribe to the UBM radio page. And we're building and building. And I see a lot of you, by the thousands, joining every day. But we got to keep on building and growing those numbers. Now, we're here, again, to become the leaders we've been looking for. We're here to help change the narrative, right? We're here not just to talk about pain. We're here to give you live examples of how to turn our pain into power. And so we've been talking about it and talking about it. Well, tomorrow's the big day, right? Tomorrow's the big day that we're going to have a major seed planting live TV broadcast. It's going to be broadcast live on UBM. UBM, it'll be on our urbanbroadcastmedia.com, and it'll be on our Facebook pages, and on the YouTube channel, and even after that, Channel 25 is here, and they're going to be condensing the program to air even more on cable. And what's the big news? The big news is that we've been talking about it, called Narratives of Color. When everybody starts talking about the downfall of DNA info, and where do the good stories get told? Because for a long time, DNA info provided a hell of a service to provide good news in our community, stories, untold stories that a lot of major media don't show. Well, the answer, as some people analyzed, right? Some of us have continued to grow and organize. And so on tomorrow, and I'll put it this way too, I want to go through part of this is, see, during the Civil Rights Movement, blacks and Latinos and women marched and protested to bring about racial and gender equality for all Americans. While those efforts produced the 1964 Civil Rights Act, ending legalized segregation, the stain of private institutional racism persists. The positive stories told by the mass media are overwhelmingly white narratives, while positive stories about blacks, Latinos, and other non-whites are buried in the mass media's unrelenting efforts to tell negative and demeaning story. That's the bad news, right? Here's the good news. On tomorrow, December 1st, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Monroe Foundation, led by Otis Monroe, who you'll be hearing from in a minute, along with Urban Broadcast Media, will host an internal town hall forum, bringing together a lot of black and brown voices, right? Unheard voices, right? That they'll be coming together, changing the narrative. So now, representatives from several foundations are going to be here, bankers, funders, public and private. So we'll have this meeting streamed live, once again, on urbanbroadcastmedia.com. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be on YouTube. We'll be broadcasting live right here at UBM Radio, and then aired on Channel 25 Sunday at 8 o'clock p.m. And as my elder, Dr. Finney, says, run and tell that. And so the person who envisioned it, the person who helped convene it, and I'm glad to have him here once again in person as we continue to do this, because we're going to prove that Urban Broadcast Media is the place to continue to grow our own independent news agency. We got TV, we got radio, we got social media, we got recording studio. It's all right here on the corner of 41st and King Drive. But my guest, we go to him right now, who helped convene it. And again, once again, one of my best friends that I have in life, not just personally, but professionally. And I say this all the time. When I got through with my cancer, a lot of people say, call me if you need me. And it's almost a year later, and some people ain't answered the call, right? And so, but trying to rebuild and put my life back together, personally, professionally, fighting this cancer, the person who's always been there for me to help lift me up through all of this is our founder and president of the Monroe Foundation, Otis Monroe. He's with us. Otis, thank you, my friend, and thank you for being here in the studio.
Thank you for having me, Brother Mark.
And we're going to work on this thing during the break. I'm going to get them on the screen. So right now, my screen don't have them, but we got the other two. So those of you watching on YouTube, y'all get it right now. And then we're going to reconcile, what do you call it? I don't know what happened when the house and the city get together. Yeah, that's it. I'm trying to use these big words. Let me go back to what I do. We're going to put it together so we have both screens hooked up. But Otis, on tomorrow, one, we congratulate you for speaking up at the Majors Funders meeting when people are asking about where do people go? If you know, and this is almost post or before the DNA info, but because we always need more.
Right.
But you lifted the question up at the Major Funders Forum. Hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. And so I raised some things that we're talking about, but right now, with the big meeting tomorrow, is the fruition of the idea that you put, that even right now, that the black and brown community need, and especially with our young people coming up in journalism and in activism, let's go through what is now turned into the seed program tomorrow called the Narratives of Color. Tell us about that.
Well, Narratives of Color is a telling of the activism that is taking place in black and brown Chicago. And I take no credit for envisioning this. The energy behind this, the force behind this comes from the narratives that will be in the room. The Black Star Project, National Black Wall Street Chicago, East Village Youth Program, Free Lunch Academy, St. Paul Church of God in Christ Community Development Ministries. Those are the individuals for whom we exist to advocate for, who as members of the Monroe Foundation brought to our attention to dialogue and strategies